Luigi. I didn't even give him a transition. That's how honored I am to finally review a figure of good old Ouija. Now, if you can tell just by how I'm talking, I am a huge Luigi fan. I don't know much stuff about him, but I adore this character. Now, just so you know, my bias isn't gonna kick in the raking. I just thought I'd say that I love Luigi so much. I always loved his character. Oh, hold on. Okay, I fixed him. Now, for Luigi, I have him holding his hat as if he's being sad. You don't get to know why he's sad yet. That's something only I can know as of now. Because I am working on something for the channel. Now, Luigi, I actually ended up using lime instead of green because I don't know, I thought lime. I always figured a bright green would fit better. And I didn't really like using purple overalls for Luigi anymore, so how did I do to fix that? Because Mario's overalls are usually lighter. Well, let's bring Big Red back. I used a light blue instead of just regular blue, so that it can match. Now, my bias isn't going to kick in the ranking because I ran out of brown for the shoes. Also, come here. I made him an entirely new body. Yeah, if you couldn't tell. And I had to remake legs just so I can put him in this collection because this body right here does not stay. But overall, Luigi is a really good character. He's a really good figure. So, my bias isn't going to kick in, so I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10 because of how accurate he is. Except for the shoes and the gloves. Because I ran out of white and brown to make them. Alright, now let's move on to the next figure. Now, everybody, give a warm welcome to Ness. Now, Ness here was an interesting case. You see, because I'm not really good at doing stripe patterns, because since Ness's stripes are different colors than his actual shirt, I had to use completely different colors to make the stripes. And last time I tried doing a Ness figure, and also his bat. His bat was also a little tricky. Because I've never done a baseball bat before. But I did it. And his hat is so cute. And we gave him his shorts. Oops. Yeah, I tried getting every single detail this figure right, and I don't think I missed. I think I hit that target. Now, let's say with everybody else, I'm gonna give him a ranking, and I'd have to give it a 9 out of 10. Wow, a lot of these are 9 out of 10s. Yeah, it's a really good figure. Now, one that took a while to make, the one that took almost a long time to make, Captain Falcon. I have to hold on my camera so that he's actually visible, because damn, this guy is tall. Also, doesn't balance very well, huh? Okay, I got him balancing again. Now, this figure was hard. Like, he was just a hard figure to make. Let me take off his head. Look. That's his neck. And this is his scarf and his collar. His boots. His gloves. His shoulder pad. I don't know where the pouch is. Oh, wait. I think I found it. No, that's not the pouch. Anyway, this figure is a very detailed one. It took me a little while to... hey. Okay, I got him back. And even his helmet, I put some detail into. I gave him the white outline, gave him his attempt of a falcon, not so good. I gave him his visor, his shoulder pad, his scarf, like I said, his belt and his pouch. I don't know where the pouch is. And his boots. I couldn't find where the other boot was, so I had to make a new one. And his glove. I didn't know where the glove was. But yeah. This one I had to look up a reference image because I don't know what Captain Falcon looks like all that much. But still then, he was still able to work. I was still able to get him to work. Now, with a few flaws, he'll still get a ranking, but not a 10. So I'm going to have to give him an 8.5 out of 10. Not necessarily an 8, not necessarily a 9, in between. Alright, let me put down this phone, and we'll get back to the next figure. Well, for now, let's move on to the next figure. Okay, that dramatic thing was just to show how ominous this thing looks. Now, this Jigglypuff figure was just as simple as Pikachu and Curbs, because he's mostly pink, except his eyes and mouth. It's mostly pink, except its eyes and mouth. And yeah, I don't have much to say. It's a blob with ears, a little bit. I don't know if that's hair or just a blob. Hands and feet. So yeah. Okay, stop looking at me with those eyes. Stop looking me with those eyes. Okay, I'm just gonna put you back in the collection, and we're just gonna move on to our next character, Peach. Now, this Peach figure was actually the third ever figure that I made. Hey, it's for this set of figures. I have a lot more, but I didn't bring them all out because it's a lot. So I just bring out a lucky few to be reviewed for this video. Or should I say 2 videos, because I stopped recording and gonna record again. Now, Peach here was actually pretty simple. Since she's mostly seen in her dress, I didn't have to do any sort of legs. So I just used blob for the legs. The most tricky part was the arms, because these things fall off so many times. Also, I lost her crown, so I just had her without a crown for a long time. I started this collection back in February. Like this set of figures. And it's still going strong today. Wow. I had another set that wasn't as big as this, but that would... the character didn't look as well. And that applies to Peach here. I can make a few posts showing all the original figures that I made. And some of these figures haven't made it to this set yet. But of course, Peach was one of them, along with the Mario Brothers back there. All in all, I'd say Peach is pretty accurate, so I'm gonna give her a 9 out of 10, along with the brothers over there. Okay, let's move on. So, if the viewers couldn't tell already, I've been doing this in order of Smash, but at this point, I don't actually have the orders, so now I'm just gonna go random. So let's start. Falco Lombardi. Okay, now Falco here wasn't as hard as Fox McCloud. He was actually a lot simpler, since he's mostly a bird, and I know how to do birds. Also, I gave him I didn't know he wore the space boots until I watched the Mario Galaxy movie again. So I always made him with these talons. Like, there's never been a Falco design where I drew him or modeled him with space boots. I might change this, but for now, he's got talons and he's got regular wings. But I made them work. and he's got tail feathers. So he gets an 8.5 out of 10 because he doesn't have talents. He doesn't have talents. He's supposed to have space boots. So yeah, let's move on. Now this next figure I'm gonna review is actually one of my favorites. Not like Luigi favorite, just favorites in general. Like one that I had a lot of fun working on, and that is Meta Knight. Now, Meta Knight over here, good old Meta Knight, he's Meta Knight. That's it. It was very simple to make. It was mostly just following Kirby's design pattern, but with a lot more detail. Like, he has arms, he has gloves, he's wearing the metal boots, he's got shoulder pads, and he's got a cape. Actually, little unknown fun fact, I always would draw Meta Knight with his wings because that's the design they would mostly use in the mainline Kirby games, but in Smash he's mostly with his cape, unless it's a move in the air, because then that's when he uses his wings. But besides that, it's mostly just his cape. In the Smash games, and his mask. Now this is one of the things that I made gray for. Yeah, I made Meta Knight's mask gray, but I didn't make Fox's space boots gray. Yeah, that's what I did. It just looks wrong without a gray mask. And this mask, it almost looks perfect. Just the hole where his eyes are shown. I had a little bit of trouble with that, so it looks a little wonky, but besides that, I'd say it still looks pretty good. You get a 9 out of 10, and you're gonna go back to the spot. Sorry. I'm merely recording this after I woke up, so I'm a little tired. But let's add our next character to this figure review. Diddy Kong. Alright, now Diddy Kong over here was just as simple as Donkey Kong. Except, oh wait, yeah, I didn't use full brown. Gave him his iconic shirt and his new hat, not his old hat, his new hat. And gave him the spreaded eyes, because again, I have a thing with connected eyes. I don't like them. They look unnatural. Also gave him some little stubby arms and little stubby feet, and also non-printed fingers, just regular fingers, and a tail. What's a monkey without a tail, right? Yeah, he's a monkey and not a gorilla like Donkey Kong. But I'd say Diddy Kong gets a solid 10. No, wait, not a 10. I'd say 9.5. Yeah, 9.5 out of 10. Nearly perfect, just a little off. What's the off, you might ask? His mouth. I was never able to get his mouth right, so I just had to go with a Donkey Kong mouth. With old Donkey Kong mouth. So that's why he looks like this. But yeah, 9.5 out of 10. Almost perfect, just a small flaw. Now, we're going to move on to the reason I don't like connected eyes. And that is... Oh, his glove fell off. Oh no, I said it's a glove, so you might already guess who it is. But if you don't guess who it is, then I'm still right. For the reason I don't like connected eyes. And that reason is Sonic the Hedgehog. Yes, this furry little hedgehog is the reason that connected eyes feel so unnatural. I actually found out that the reason they connected his eyes is because for some reason the pixel count wasn't high enough for connected eyes, so they had to do for non-connected eyes, so they had to do connected. But his movie design finally gave him natural-looking eyes. eyes. So I've been using that design for as long as I can remember. Also, whenever I was barely starting drawing the Smash characters, I always drew Sonic's eyes. I always just drew Sonic in a side's perspective because I didn't know how to do it naturally. But now I know. I will not post it because the drawings are my personal property. Unless they're concept art for upcoming videos. Yeah, I draw concept art for videos. But anyway, let's get to Sonic's design. Now, Sonic was surprisingly easy. I thought he was going to be, like, very difficult. Because he's Sonic. But he was very simple. So, Sonic, you get a 9 out of 10 because of how good you look. You got the right shape, you got the right shoes, you got the right gloves, and you even got the quills in the ears and a tail. And you have connected eyes. So, I'm sorry, Sonic, but you get a 9 out of 10. I wish I didn't give you that rating. Just for the record, I don't actually hate Sonic. I just thought that'd be very funny. Alright, now let's move on to our next figure, which is Charizard. Yeah, we got the big, old, orange dragon himself, Charizard. Now, good old Charmander evolution over here was actually very fun to make. Look at him. Look at this guy. I know I say he's very fun to make with everyone because everybody was fun to make except for Sonic. Now, this guy had a little bit of trouble with him, like his wings. I didn't really know how to do wings back then, like dragon wings. But because my last dragon wing attempt didn't go so well, that'll be in a future video. But for now, let's focus on Charizard. Let's just focus on good old Chari boy. Now, I actually did still use clay for the inside of the wings. Specifically blue, because turquoise does not exist in this box. So I had to work with what I got, aka blue wings. And I ended up using the wire thing that I used for all the characters' limbs, except for Kirby and Jigglypuff, because they don't have any limbs. And just kind of plopped it into Charizard's wings to make them flap. Also, this guy's too fat to be able to get off the ground. His torso nearly touches the ground. This is the only character that I have that does that. Unless you count Diddy Kong over there, but his legs are bent, so yeah. This guy's legs are not bent. Also, we can't forget about Charizard's good old fire. Since he's the fire starter Pokemon, we have to give him something related to fire besides just being a dragon. And, of course, good old Game Freak decided to give him a flame on his tail. Make it look like he was on fire. I never knew why he has fire on his tail besides maybe just being a symbolism on his, to know that he's the fire starter, but I'm gonna have to look it up because I don't know. Also, fire is one of the elements. So it's logical that he has something related to fire if he's just fire. Also, he's got a big old belly right here. Like a King K. Rool level. King K. Rool level. Except it's not golden. And we all know that King K. Rool has a golden gut. Not a yellow one, a golden one. So, but Charizard is still very good looking figure. few flaws, like his wings are not the complete right color, but still really good. So, you get, just like Sonic, a 9.5 out of 10. Well, wait, not Sonic. Falco. No wait, not Falco. Hold on, who did I give a 9.5 out of 10 to? I'm gonna have to remember that in a little bit. But now, you can go back into display. Wait, what's this? What's this? Do my eyes deceive me? 2 Pokemon in a row? Is that what I say? 2 Pokemon? That's exactly what you see me from a few seconds ago. And not just any Pokemon. We're doing Lucario. Now, I've always been a fan of Smash Bros. Without ever actually playing the game. I just really liked the way... I just really liked the impact it had in the Smash community. Because it introduced the Subspace Emissary. Which I was originally making a show for, but decided to not do it. But I'm still going to be making something related to Subspace Emissary. But so far, Lucario. Let's talk about Lucario. Let's talk about the now. The future can wait. Lucario here was very tricky, actually. Because I've never made a Lucario figure before. I'm not kidding. This is my first time ever making one. But honestly, I'd say it looks really good. Got his yellow furry bit. Got his feet right here. Got his tail. I never knew he had a tail until now. Hold on. Neck's coming a little. Neck's being a little. The neck is being weird. Okay, got it. And that is, I'm guessing hips, right? Or just, I don't know what these are actually. I think there's hips. I don't know. And got his 2 little ear thingies right there. Got his 2 little things right there, like on his mask. Oh, hold on. That's better. There's 2 little ear thingies on his mask. And unlike Charizard, he's the right shade of blue. He's the right shade of blue. And I think after this, I only have a few characters left before I can start into the figures that I added to the collection from not being in Smash. But before we do that, let's get to everybody else. Oh wait, I forgot I have to give you a ranking. Let's see, 9 out of 10. Honestly, honest rank, 9 out of 10. Now, okay, we only have a few characters left that are from Smash, so I feel like if you want to just speedrun it or skip to those characters, you're more than welcome to. But if you want to stay, and see which characters I review and what the rank's gonna be, then stick along for the video so you can see exactly who is gonna appear and what rank I'm gonna give them. Now, I know I'm missing one more character left in Brawl for this Brawl series of fighters. Yeah, after I reviewed Falco, I moved straight to Brawl because I didn't have any other characters to review. Because, like I said, I only brought in a lucky few. Who was it? He was in the Mario Galaxy movie for sure, but I just can't. Rob! Oh yeah, I forgot about you, Rob. Thank you for appearing. I would have forgot about you and didn't even review you. Okay, Rob. He is not the correct colors. I didn't have enough white whenever I was starting this collection, so I had to just work with what I got. But I got every single proportion right. I got his movement. I got his arms right. right? Got his little eyes, right? Got his little laser, right? I got his slow moving parts, right? If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna tell it. I'm not gonna tell it, and for everyone who don't know, I'm not gonna let them tell it because the joke's more funny. If it's a joke. And there was little striped lines from the game. I mean, from Smash, because technically Rob doesn't have a game. He uses a toy line, an accessory to the NES. So I added him into an existing series. Anyway, back to his design. Again, I didn't have enough white, so I had to work with what I had was light orange and those same red I used for Samus and Mario. Hold on. Okay. Had to do some coughing. Now, let's get back to Rob. Rob is just a really good figure. I didn't think he'd look good because last time I made a Rob figure, it came out pretty bad. But he looks really good. That's all I'm gonna say. You get, like everybody else, 9 out of 10. And I'm gonna put you back in the collection. There we go. I put him back in the collection, and now I can start the transition with the very next character. Who is Mega Man? And then we get to do the transition on time. Come on, Mega Man. Oh yeah, I should probably review you right now, or else everybody's gonna get mad at me for not reviewing you. This guy was super easy. Yeah, he was very easy. I mean, he's a guy that's a robot, and is in this cool metallic and I'm guessing regular outfit texture suit. Because technically the only metallic parts are the dark blue parts, and I guess his eyes, because they're technically hologram, and they're technically a screen in Smash. And also, Mega Man will never give an expression in my channel. He'll just be there. He'll do what he does, he just won't give any sort of expression at all. Because he's a robot. Robots don't give expressions. But still, I really like this Mega Man figure. Gave him his arm cannon because Mega Man isn't Mega Man without his arm cannon. But still a really good figure. Like everybody else, he's a 9 out of 10. This video is almost 40 minutes long. 30 minutes long. Man, I review these figures, don't I? Okay.